Yeah, new week, new opportunity with an in-state opponent that is going to present a very difficult challenge for us in a lot of different ways. In special teams in the last 3 seasons, they've blocked 12 kicks, had multiple fake punts. On defense, they present multiple issues with their run schemes, different gap schemes inside and outside zone with zone read components and RPOs. And they've got a very good wide receiver and running back that create difficulties for us in what we're trying to do defensively. Offensively, they play multiple fronts and coverages. They've got some really talented defensive linemen, really big guys up front that chase the football, 2 long edge overhead or overhang players that I think do a really nice job of setting the edge and keeping contained. And then their middle linebacker, Jacob Morrissey, is always around the football. They have our full attention, and obviously being an in-state opponent adds a little bit more energy to the game and what we need to do in order to have our goal, which is to be 1-0 at the end of the week. So with that, I'll open it up for questions.
Eli, I know it's never one thing, but in looking at the film the first couple games, the run defense, are you seeing more issues, at the line of scrimmage, or is it second level?
It's all levels. It's tackling. It's bad eyes. It's gap integrity. It's beating the man across from you. It's a lot of different factors that have to get cleaned up and fixed. As poor as we did stopping the run, we still had an opportunity to win the game at the end of the game. And I think taken away from that game was, we got to find one more play. We got to find a way to make one more play, whether that's on the offensive side of the ball, whether that's as a coach, make a better play call, or whether that's on defense. We got to find a way to make a play. Several of the runs that led to big runs were after third down conversions, where we didn't keep contained and the quarterback scrambled, or didn't have the proper zone drop, or didn't play aggressive enough in our man-to-man coverage. So a lot of different factors led to the performance on Saturday.
Eli, is there any part of Saturday's game you're looking at kind of as a blessing in disguise? I know you talked a lot about after the game about how much your team fought.
Yeah.
Now you've had a couple days to think about it. Is there any part of it you're thinking of it?
Yeah, I think the huge positive is, as poorly as we played, if we make one more play, we have a chance to win the game, and that's a tribute to our team's refusal to give in, to continue to fight, scratch, and claw all the way throughout the game. So those are positive things. We're still trying to figure out who we are. I think we're starting to settle into where our strengths and weaknesses are, and got to start pushing towards those starting this week.
Eli, you're pretty passionate about the response from your team and how you like the fighter's mentality. Go back to the beginning of camp. You wanted to see more of a sense of urgency out of the first couple days of camp. So how have you seen that, fighter's mentality develop over the last month or so?
I think we saw exactly that on Saturday. Down 14-0, down 21-7 with a chance for them to score. Turn the ball over the first play or the second play of the second half. And none of those situations deterred us from fighting and staying focused on this play mentality and playing this play. And you look up at the end of the game, we got the ball at the plus 40, and a chance to try to go down there and tie it. And that's what you got to do. It's never going to be pretty. I think the issue now with really anything is especially in sports, is everything's a beauty contest, and it's not about the result. It's about how it looked, and everybody who dissects and has an opinion about it, which is what it is. I'm not complaining about it. It's just the new norm. For us as players and coaches, we have to focus on, at the end of the day, the result's what matters. Did you win or lose the game, and how do you get there? And we had an opportunity, and we got to find a way to make one more play.
Eli, kind of touching off of what you said after the game, as a coach, there's got to be a challenge there to preach that urgency internally, maybe externally. You're kind of preaching patience.
Yeah.
Just big picture wise, what's that challenge like?
I mean, I think it's you got to set expectations, but you also have to have a reality of, this isn't microwave win. This isn't microwave. All of a sudden, you're SEC East champions or competing for the SEC East. Like, it's not Miracle Grow. You can say all the right things. You can outwardly be doing all the right things, but it's still a growth process. No different than when you plant a flower or you plant corn, or my father-in-law is a farmer. Like, you gotta sow and you gotta water the ground, and you gotta tear up weeds, and you gotta battle heat and all kinds of stuff, and then you'll reap the reward. And I think there's a lot of positive momentum, and I know everybody wants it right now, but there's still a long process to be had on our football team, and I think we're getting there. But some of the teams that we're playing right now have 10-year head start on us in this program, and we got to get going, and we got to get there faster. I know that's not going to make anybody happy, but that's the reality. And so I'm not discouraged at all. That was a heck of a crowd. That was a heck of a moment for our team, and we were right there, and we got to find one more way to get there. One more play.
Coach, what are the benefits of playing an in-state opponent?
Well, hopefully the crowd. I mean, I hope people will come attend the game, not only from the Mizzou side, but also from the Southeast Missouri side. I think it gives the opportunity for kids who've always wanted to play in Furrow Field that may never, not unfortunate. We can only give 25 of those scholarships a year, and so these are some other opportunities for people to come play in a great stadium, a great environment. I think it continues to show the importance of football in our state. Can kind of set the tone. High school coaches will be here. High school teams will be here watching, players that played for them. So I think it's a huge positive. I think it grows the game in our state, which is ultimately what we got to continue to do.
Eli, Tyler's been a pretty big part of the offense.
Yeah.
Is there any concern with his workload, with the number of touches he's getting a game?
We're trying to be 1-0. So we're trying to win this week. I don't worry about anything outside of how do we win a game this week. When you start doing all that stuff, I can't predict the future. If I could, man, I don't know if I'd be a football coach. I'd probably be a stock person, So no, I don't worry about it.
How much do you, in the course of a game, find yourself, hey, maybe this was the plan going in, but this guy's hot, and he's got to be out there a little bit more than we thought going in?
I mean, I think right now with Tyler, ultimately we would like to find some other people who can share the load in the backfield. But on the road against a SEC opponent, you got to ride your horses. I mean, Coach Petrino used to say this at Arkansas, FTS, man, feed the studs. That's what you got to do. And so that's all. We're trying to be 1-0. Like, whoever gives us the best chance on that play to execute at a high level is who's going to get it. Right now, Tyler's playing at a very high level. So we're going to ride that horse.
Eli, what can you learn about a team and its culture after a loss? Just watching how they respond. Every team's different, I imagine, how they handle that.
Yeah, I mean, the first thing you look for is how much they have invested into it is shown by how much they're hurting. How much did it mean to them? It was a really quiet locker room. It was a really ticked off bus ride home, bus ride and flight. It was yesterday, Sunday, we went out and practiced, and there wasn't a lot of smiling. This team's invested, and they're trying really hard to do what we ask them to do, and we're still not getting the results that we want. And you got to grow. You can't grow weary while doing good. So we're going to see a result. We're going to see the harvest. We're going to get there. You just got to keep doing the right things. You got to keep plugging away, and that's what we're going to do. I mean, Saturday was a setback. It wasn't a, wasn't any more than that. Bump in the road, in my opinion.
Jalen Carlisle's
Yep.
the past couple of weeks, what have you seen from him put himself in a position to make some of those plays?
Yeah, we got to keep JC out on the field the whole game. Didn't play the first half versus Central Michigan and has a pick, and only played in pretty much the first half and maybe the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter because of some health issues at halftime. We got to keep him out there. That dude's a playmaker. He's got 3 turnovers in basically one game, so we got to keep him out there. And You know, he has he's long, can run, he's physical, he's got great ball skills. He's an elite. He's got the potential to be an elite player for us.
Eli, I know you're on saying the play doesn't care who makes it. But
Yeah.
What is the importance of having a pair of tight ends I guess that they can add to this offense?
Well, I mean, it actually goes back to the play doesn't care who makes it. Then you can draw up plays, and if the ball is determined to go to that position based on the defensive reaction, then those guys are ready and prepared to make the play. And really, that's what happened on both of Daniel's touchdowns. Was, he was kind of an outlet option for the quarterback, and did exactly what he was supposed to do, and the quarterback found him. And same kind of thing on some of our RPO game in the pass game where those guys were catching balls.
Coach, last week you said Connor Bazelak needed to work on third down. It seemed like you guys did a lot better on third down against Kentucky. What about this week? What would you like to see him improve on?
I thought overall Connor played pretty well. Just like everybody, we need to find one more play to win the game. I thought he did a really nice job of. I felt like in the second half I was extremely aggressive, calling plays, trying to get some shots down the field, and he was doing a really good job of taking the check down and not forcing the ball. And I think that was a product of the second play. I'd made a terrible play call, and he forced the ball into a situation that it shouldn't have been there, and that's on me. I can't make that call, and like I told him, he's got to overcome coaching and fix it for us. So really, I think just continually be consistent in what he's been doing, and don't try to force the ball into places it doesn't need to go.
I know you played Bailey a little bit more on Saturday, but Blaze and Devin have taken almost all the snaps. Do you feel like you're close to having some other guys that can help out at that linebacker position?
I mean, we really wish we were playing 5 guys at linebacker, but the reality of it is nobody stepped up in practice to prove that they deserve the opportunity to play. And that's just the reality of it. We don't. This isn't open tryouts. Like, tryouts are on Monday and on Sunday, on Tuesday, and Wednesday. And whoever's been playing has shown us on Sunday, Tuesday, and Wednesday that they deserve the opportunity to play, or they showed it during fall camp. So, this isn't, well, those guys, we'll just try somebody else. Like I told them, if you don't like your role, practice better. I mean, it's not like we're trying to hold anybody back. It's not like we're trying not to play the best players. Like, sure, we would love not to be giving up 340 yards rushing, other people will play when they earn the opportunity to play.
Coach, you mentioned, I'm Violet Brommerkin.
Great to meet you. Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you. So you mentioned that guys were upset after the game, and also, you mentioned kind of just the growth process of this program. What is your message to them in a moment like that, especially emphasizing where you guys want to be when they're, upset in a moment like that?
Yeah, my message really Saturday and Sunday were very similar. We lost, but all is not lost. You lost a game, but there's 10 games left, and how you respond to that loss will determine the future of what we're trying to accomplish. And then, Sunday after we watched the tape, it was, hey, I appreciate the fight, but we got to find one more play. And that's the only way I know to find one more play is either in the film room or at practice. That's where you find the way to make that one more play. You either got to watch more film and be more prepared, or you got to practice better and have better practice habits. And so that's what we got to go do if we want to get this, bad taste out of our mouth.
You've spoken a lot about opportunity today. Is a game like this a good chance to see what maybe some younger players, some players on the periphery can do in a game like situation?
The only way anybody's going to get a chance to play is if they earn the opportunity to play. This isn't rec league. This is college football, and the best 11 players are going to play. The guys who give us the chance to win the game. And this isn't open tryouts. This isn't participation trophy. This isn't everybody gets a chance to play. I have no idea who's going to play on Saturday. I know this. I'm going into it with the mentality that the Southeast Missouri State team is one of a very good special teams operation, have blocked 12 kicks in the last 3 seasons. They got multiple fronts and coverages, which gave us lots of issues last week against Kentucky and against Central Michigan. They run the football, which we haven't stopped the run consistently in the first 2 games. So in my mindset, we've got to go play really well, and that's it. And if anybody else plays, that's going to be determined based on the fact that they have earned the opportunity to play, not based on, well, this is a 1AA school and we're a SEC school, so so-and-so should get to play and Johnny gets to go ahead and get in the game this week. Now, I don't ever think that way. And I sure as heck don't think that way with 7 FCS teams beating Division I teams this year. And I can go through that list if you want to. Our team has that list printed off in their lockers this week. So we're very aware that anybody can win or lose on any given Saturday. So if anybody thinks that they're just going to get to play this week because we're playing SEMO, they're absolutely insane. The only people that are going to play are the people that earn that opportunity on Tuesday and Wednesday by the way they practice.
Coach, I know I saw on social media you had a chance to talk to Davis Taylor, the Rockbridge
Yeah.
freshman. How did that come about, and what did that conversation mean to you?
You know, honestly, I'd prefer just to keep that between me and him, and wish him well in his recovery and know that we're in his corner. But you know, that was just you know, just something we felt like we wanted to do.
Eli, back to the passing game, how close do you feel like some of those vertical shots are to being completed? Is that still real work in progress, or you see them pretty close?
It's kind of hit and go. I mean, they played a lot of deep coverage. I mean, basically tried to keep everything in front of them. I think there was 2 balls that really shouldn't have been thrown, and then maybe the first play of that the last drive that Mookie actually got behind him, and we just didn't really commit to the throw that we needed to make at that point. I think we're close. I think we'll get there. I think it's just a product of coverage matching what we're trying to do. But again, I think the design is to be aggressive. We talk about if the stage is set, take it. But if the stage isn't set, then we have outlets. And I thought that's really where Connor had some of his best reps.
Eli, when you look at plays, what can you say about everything that he's done the first 2 games, the way he's just slid in there and is producing?
I mean, I think he's doing. He's being productive, right? Making tackles, and he's making some big plays when we need him. Yeah.
Eli, you spoke earlier this year about the growth of Connor Collins. I know he's from near where SEMO is in Jackson, but can you speak about just how he's grown this year in the program?
Yeah, Connor was a freshman, early enrollee. Has played really 3 different positions for us this year in spring and in fall camp, both the center position and the tackle position, and done a nice job. He's very athletic. He's got the right mindset. He's got the right haircut to play offensive line, and so you know, really are excited about his potential and growth here as a Missouri Tiger.
Anything else for Coach? Thanks, Joe.
Yep. Thank you all.